on in the building. All right. So I know a lot of you guys are migrating over from TikTok to YouTube. You guys, that's why I try to tell you guys to come on to the YouTube because of what TikTok is trying to do over there. It just don't make no sense. Okay. It don't make no sense. But at the end of the day, what we're teaching you guys is about how to understand what is controlling everything in the body. You must understand the brain. And you got to understand the nervous system, and you got to understand how to regulate and how to stabilize. You must understand that all you can do is protect your inner workings. All you can do, that's it. It's still going to rain on the outside, but it don't have to rain on the inside. It's still going to be cold on the outside, but it doesn't have to be cold on the inside. All I'm trying to get you guys to understand is how to protect the inner workings of you. Okay. And it's going to be difficult. Things are going to be, but you can't stop the environmental stimuli. It will rain sometimes in your life, but that's external. You just don't allow the rain to come inside. It's going to be cold. It's going to be hot. It's going to be dry. It's going to have all of these different elements, but you can't allow it to affect the inner workings of yourself. And so the more you know thyself, the more that you delve deeper into who you really are as a person, and the more you start understanding how to grow things in your life, then that's where you're going to begin. You understand what I'm really trying to teach you and understand the sun's ecliptic and understand these seasonal things and understand this. I ain't trying to get you to do astrology. What I'm trying to get you to understand is how to garden, knowing when to plant them seeds and when to plant them seeds. And this is the diabolical issue that's going on in humanity, is that you've lost your particular understanding of seasons. You've lost your understanding of timing. And so therefore you're sick right now, and therefore you're lonely right now, and therefore you're financially frustrated right now, and you don't know how to grow it because you don't know how to sit and watch something grow. You're too impatient. Okay? Patience come with pets, patience come with plants, and patience come with people. Somebody put that in the chat, please. Patience come with plants, with pets, and with people. You must have patience. You got to understand that it's not going to be all hunky dory all the time. And when you go on vacation, that pet has to be taken care of. That plant has to be taken care of when you vacate. Now, when you vacate, I ain't talking about going to Italy. I'm talking about in your mind, you're not there any longer. In your mind, you're not focusing and concentrating. You're not watching. You're not being observant. In your mind, you're distracted. So when you go on vacation, then the pet, the plant, and the people in your life can start to die out. They can start getting brown. They can start getting malnutrition. They can start going elsewhere with their conversations and thought because you're not there any longer. Yeah, you there, but not here. You there physically, but you're not there mentally. You're not there spiritually. You're not there emotionally. And if you didn't know what I was trying to teach you before, if you're not there in those three things, then guess what? The body, the earth, that environment is not conducive to a flourishing plant. Your life is not conducive to wealth because you're not patient and you're not focusing and you're not concentrating and you're vacating that idea. Your life is not conducive to prime health because you're not focused on that, you're not concentrating on that, and you're vacating that particular understanding to do things that you want to do. You're distracted. You're not patient enough to create that family environment. Why? Because you are distracted. You're not focusing and concentrating on it enough. You're not watching it grow. You plant the seed, God, I want a family. And then next thing you know, you vacate the idea. I got to go on vacation, girl. Who gonna watch the family grow? Who gonna watch the? You just planted this seed, but who gonna watch it grow? It need water. You can't go on vacation when you plant flowers. You can't go on vacation when you just bought a puppy. And your damn self can't go on vacation when you just had a baby. So then you just planted this seed in the world. And then you want to go all the way over here in your mind or actually physically, you're leaving your seed, you can't grow nothing. So what we're trying to show you is how to garden. How the garden is about knowing when. Somebody put that in the chat, please. How to garden is to know when. So if you ain't got no green thumb in the plants, then you ain't gonna have no green thumb in the money. Come on, man. Ain't both of them green? Don't money grow on trees? But if you can't plant the tree for money, you'll never have it. And all that tree is asking is for patience. A tree needs patience. You want that family tree? You need to be patient. If you want the money that fall off a tree, then you need to be patient and create the tree. I ain't got no green thumb, so you'll never have no money. I ain't got no green thumb, so you'll never grow your own food. And I'm trying to teach you this in a conscious way so that you can understand. A lot of people say, well, we want to show you this and show you that. No, all you need to do is learn how to garden. And the first rule of learning how to garden is to know the seasons. Some of you guys are trying to grow a relationship in Libra when you in Aries. It's about growing yourself. This is self-growth. This is mutual growth between you and somebody else. Some of you guys are trying to grow your own wealth in Taurus, which is the self wealth, but then at the same time, you're in Scorpio. You need to grow something with somebody, be mutual with somebody. This is mutual. So you see, on this side is about self, and then on this side, you need other folk. So you got times for self, then you got times for others. Cancer is about home and family. Then here, right here, is about your career. It's about what you want to do. So then it'll flip on you. So now this side is about self, and this side is about everything else. Leo is about loving what you do for what you're doing. Aquarius is about helping others do something. Love helping others. Leo is love helping self. Aquarius is love helping others. Virgo, what this is about. This is about what? Your self health, your self worth, your self fitness, your self health. But what Pisces is about? Helping others. That's why Jesus is a fisher of men, helping others with their health, helping others with their spirituality. Virgo, yeah, you can help yourself with your spirituality, your belief system, this, that, and the third. But the Pisces is about helping others. Now, how do you know when you don't know when to grow? How you gonna grow your money when you don't know when? You ain't in Taurus, and you didn't know about this stuff, so you don't pass Taurus. Taurus don't pass you up. It is what it is. So you're trying to grow money when it ain't time to. But God said, I give you another opportunity. But now since you missed the self growth, the self finances, maybe you can catch growing your life with somebody else. Since you missed the self improvement, maybe you can get into a relationship that will help you improve. Since you missed the self intelligence, right? Since you missed that self communication, right? Making sure you're talking to yourself, right? Making sure you're doing this, that, and third, right? How about we show you the world? We give you more information on a collective of things instead of self, and then see what you can do with that. We're going to give you other opportunities. So the sun is giving you all the opportunities in the world to try to get you to understand how to grow your life. And all of this is coming from the brain. And because you're out of seasoning, because you don't understand what I'm talking about, and because you're out of timing, then that's why life feels so. I know I do things off the cuff, but one thing I do know is that all I got to do is make sure I understand my season. Right now, I'm in Scorpio. So people say, man, why are you having babies right now? That's Scorpio reproduction. I missed this when I was born. I'm sorry, a Taurus. I hadn't got the Taurus yet. Remember, I was born in Gemini. So I haven't reached this yet until I'm 80, 90 years old, or 100 some years old before I get here. So then guess what? This is going that self-wealth is going to be later on in life. But right now, I can do the mutual wealth and build with somebody. I know what season I'm in. You got to understand how to grow your seed. Okay? You got to understand. So we're trying to create gardeners. Gardeners. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create this gardener mentality. So when you understand this stuff, you can be able to know exactly what you need to do for your situation. A lot of you guys are sick right now and you don't know what to do to get over it. And that's understandable. But it could be a season that you're going through. And again, we can't stop stuff, but we can protect your inner workings. Yes, I'm sick, but I can keep my inner workings healthy. And what that means is not your organs, that's your mentality, that's your spirituality, that's your emotions. Remember that, right? You got fire, earth, air, and water, right? Earth is the body. So the fire, the air, and the water is the environment that you're going to create for that body to exist in. The earth is the body. Fire, air, and water is the environment that you're going to create to grow that body in. That's why the Bible tells you he made him from the clay of the earth. But all this other stuff, the air and all this environment, he made 6 days before he made man, 5 days before he made man. Then you got to understand he created the environment first for Adam and Eve to live in. Somebody put that in the chat. God created the environment first for Adam and Eve to live in. Somebody put that in the chat because this is the only way I'm going to get y'all to understand this. So we got to go biblically if y'all want to, because I know most of y'all that's watching me are Christians, so it's okay. But at the end of the day, God created the environment first for Adam and Eve to live in. So now if you understand those principles, because it ain't people, they're not real, but they're real principles. They're real disciplines. God created the environment first to grow these people in, to grow the animals and to grow all of this stuff into. So that's the cue you take. That's the cue that you must take. That is the information that you must take out of that, is that you must understand that I have to understand the environment first is going to be conducive to what I want in life. Some of y'all want to be millionaires and that environment is not going to produce it at where you at. Some of you guys want to be healed, but your environment is not going to produce it where you at right now. So then what we talking about? Fire, air, and water. What is that? My mental state, my emotional state, and my spiritual state. I must understand that's going to affect my body. Okay? Everybody got that? Did everybody hear that? Did everybody get that? You guys, please keep tapping. I told y'all we're going to be on YouTube, man, because TikTok, I don't know what's going on since America got it, but it don't work. It don't work, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to what always worked, which is YouTube. That way I don't have to worry about all this crap, man. Just come to YouTube, go get all your little followers and friends to subscribe over here. This is what we're going to do the work at, okay? And then we'll post stuff on TikTok, but we won't go live on TikTok too much longer, okay? We won't go live on TikTok too much longer, you guys. We're going to go live here on YouTube, and then we'll post things on TikTok to keep you guys abreast of the information. But live going to be on YouTube. Tell everybody. He's going to go live from here on out on YouTube. Okay? So now, once you understand what controls everything, then you got to understand that people are calling me left and right. Well, I got this going on. I got this going on. I got that going on. What are you thinking about that? All I can tell you is, are you in an environment that's conducive to your wants, needs, and desires? You could be wanting to heal all you want to, but is your environment internally and externally conducive of that healing? You can want money all you want to, but is your environment internal and external conducive to growing your wealth? You can want family all you want to, but is your internal and external environment conducive to growing your family? And some of us have these issues. Why? Because we have issues in what? In the mind, mental, spiritual, and emotionally. And that's going to stunt the growth. Somebody say it'll stunt your growth. Okay? It'll stunt your growth. these three create the environment for this. So when you're looking at reading the Bible, you want to copy how God created all this stuff. So this is how you garden. The Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden, he knew that I need to have a great mental, spiritual, and emotional whereabout to put life in. The physical is the very last thing that's created. That's why it was created on the sixth day, and I rested on the seventh. Why on the seventh? Because I've already created the right environment. Then now I created the life to go into the environment, and the work is done. Now I can just watch it grow. Now we can just watch our things grow. So what happens is when you're talking about the Adam's apple, which is here, so Eve bit what? The apple, or they bit the fruit. The only person that got an Adam's apple is a man. So what did you bite? What is the throat? Remember the Taurus right here, right? Taurus is the throat. So this is that self-possession, selfishness, that self-possession, that thing of I want to be God. Instead of being under God, I want to be God. So you stole what? The voice, the communication, you stole the vibration. In order for you to be able to be a visionary, you must understand vibration, voice, frequency comes from the throat. And you'll see all those principles being taught over and over and over. Moses went up the mountain, came back, they had a bull, Taurus the bull. Come on, y'all. It's not rocket science. I'm not trying to break down the Bible like that, but I'm trying to get you to understand the importance of these three. Mental, spiritual, and emotional health creates the health for the body automatically. It's going to allow that plant to grow. So again, we're talking about fire, sun, okay? Sun, fire, sun. I don't got to put it up there. Fire, sun. You know your plant needs some air, and you know your plant needs some water. If you give that plant is the body. The plant actually is the body. So you feed it some mental, you feed it some spiritual, and you feed it some emotional, and the plant will grow. But you can't vacate the plant. You can't vacate the pet. You can't vacate the people. You must understand that I gotta work with this stuff. I gotta watch this stuff. I gotta be patient. So a patient mind and a patient spirit and a patient emotionally will allow for the physical things to grow. Your wealth, your health, and anything else sociable that you want. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. You guys keep tapping, and I'll keep talking. Okay? And that's why we tell you guys about these messaging systems like this right here, right? We tell you about the nervous system and the endocrine system because these are just two slices of this pie. The nervous system is going to be the fire. The endocrine system is going to be the water. Now you got to watch your air. The air is what you breathe in. Remember when you was in your mother's womb? In your mother's womb, this was the number one thing, her emotions and yours. When you come out of the mother's womb, this is the most important thing, your belief, your spirituality. Spirituality is what? Your relationship with who? Nature, not God. God is nature, God is the universe. And why is spirituality my relationship with nature? Because you got to learn how to garden. That's why the damn story started in the garden. When are y'all going to be gardeners? When you going to learn how to grow this stuff? You keep asking for things, but you are not in your role and responsibility. Women and men, you're supposed to learn how to till the ground, tend to the earth. And I'm not talking about physical gardening like you think. This is a spiritual thing I'm speaking about, but you can put it in that physical analogy as well. It's literal and it's also theoretical. You must understand that they both have meaning. You got to understand that. Why did this story start in the garden? Because you need to know this stuff. If you don't know this, you don't know God. If you don't know when, you can't be a God. If I told you guys about your life right now, y'all will think that I'm God. You'll call me some kind of psychic or some kind of this or that and the third. Because why? Because I know when. The when is what allows you to have this supernatural ability, these supernatural powers, is to know when. So again, the stronger your faith is the stronger your knowledge is. So if I believe that I'm going to be able to grow these plants, these collard greens and tomatoes, I believe I'm going to be able to grow them this year. I'm growing potatoes. I'm growing this, that, and the third. I believe that they're going to grow because I have the knowledge of gardening. And the more professional I get and the more in-depth knowledge I have, the more my faith grows up because I know I've done the right things. I've learned the right things. And so, yes, my faith is stronger that we're going to get potatoes today because I knew when. My faith is strong that we're going to get watermelon because I know when. My faith is strong that we're going to get a yield, a collard green yield, because I know when to grow them. When you know when, your faith goes up. When you know when, your vision is superior. When you know when. And so the only thing that is stopping you is this fire right here. This sun, you're not yet close enough to the sun. So therefore, your mental is not on the right thing. The sun is the most important thing right now because we need these elements to grow our stuff. So your mind being somewhere else, your mind vacating, you don't want the sun. You don't like to be in the sun. Don't you know that this is a major ingredient? Your mind is a major ingredient in growing your health. Your mind is a major ingredient in growing your wealth. Your mind is a major ingredient in growing your family. If your mind ain't there, if the sun ain't there, then you're missing a major component of your environment that's conducive to the growth of these things in your life. Okay? And once you understand that, you good to go. Okay? You're missing a major component and how to grow things in your life. Please hold all calls, you guys. Please hold all calls, you guys. Please hold all calls, you guys. All right. Okay. Please hold all calls. Hold on 1 second. Please hold all calls. All right. So you guys must understand this. So what's controlling you is the missing piece, the fire, the sun. You don't know enough about this. The mind is going crazy. What's controlling everything going on? The mind. But if you ain't got this, the sun, if you don't have, if you're not following the Son of God, if you don't understand how to follow the Son of God, if you don't understand that the Son of God is showing you when, the Son of God is talking through nature, if you don't understand this concept, then guess what? This is going to be the one thing that can hurt the growth of this thing, physical. This is going to be the one thing that you ain't getting that's going to hurt the growth of you physically in this particular paradigm. You're not getting the understanding of the Son of God. So you're doing things out of season. You're missing a major component. You're not having a spiritual relationship with this, and so now you ain't got no good. You're not got no good mental. You ain't got no good belief system, and then you're all out of whack emotionally. This is going to be a very, very haphazard life for you. This is going to be a very, very weak ass plant. It's going to be a very, very if you ain't never really been there for your dog like that or your pet like that, they don't really like you like that. That's why you got to put him outside on the train, because he'll bite you too, and you the owner, because you neglected. You've neglected how that environment is going to be conducive to that pet's growth. And then when it comes to people, we already know if you're not in it mentally, spiritually, or emotionally, you can't ask for stuff from people when you don't create the environment. Oh, I need for you to do this. I want you to do this. They're not going to be able to do it, my people, because you're not creating the environments for it. If you want to understand me, I went from rags to riches and all this type of stuff, is because I created the environment. I put my mind to something, I believed in it, and I created the emotions around it that created the actions. And then next thing you know, here it is. I'm in South Africa for 9 months without having to sell my house. Here it is. I built my business on the corner block up here in Conyers, Georgia, from nothing, coming from the flea market. I was at the flea market for 1 year. After that, boom, I'm on the corner block. How in the world are you doing these things, Herb Man? Because I'm providing an environment for myself that's going to help things grow. All right? It's going to help things grow. So you must understand that what is controlling the situation is the fire element within you. because this is the mind. This is the mind. And you got to understand that the sun is going through your life. And you just got to know where that sun is at in your life. The sun is shining in your life. It's shining in your head. It'll shine in your thinking patterns. It'll shine in your communication. It'll shine in your expression. It'll shine in your protection. It'll shine in your love. Okay? It'll shine in your gut. It'll shine in what you're consuming and how you analyze things. You see? It'll shine in your kidneys, how you dispose of things. It'll shine in your reproduction. How are you doing when it comes to reproducing yourself and things? Producing, period. Production. It'll shine there. It'll shine in your hips. Where you going? How you moving in life? What you're learning. It'll shine in your kneecaps. How you structured. How you built. Are you strong there? Shine in your shins and ankles. It'll shine in your feet. And you'll see that these are principles. Principles. That's it. And the sun is going to make sure that you learn the principle or you miss that. And then guess what? You got to come back to learn it in a whole different being. But at the end of the day, that these are the principles of life. So I encourage you guys to live 120 years so that you can really get down these things. Because if you live to 120, what I missed, I'll get. I came in Gemini. So how in the world I'm going to get Aries and Taurus? Right? So if you look at this as age, right? So if I came here in Gemini, okay, and these are 10 years. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, and 120. So how am I going to get these life lessons? Most of us are dying in 3/4 of this information, right? You come in 9 months, that's 3/4 of 12. That's all the gas you got. So let's look at my 9 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now let's see how many years that is. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I only have enough gas for 90 years of life. So it's all about the other things that I learned, the other things that I can pick up to get me create the fuel for me to be able to get to this 120 so that I can get all of the principles. So when you are castrated of some of these principles, then guess what? Things that come up in your life, you don't have the ability to know how to maneuver or circumvent because you haven't had the training yet. You haven't got the discipline yet. You haven't bumped into the principle yet. And a lot of us are leaving out of here failing the quiz and failing the test because we don't know how to keep life going long enough to get everything you need out of life so that you can understand life in its totality in its entirety. Okay? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to show you those things. Okay? We're trying to show you those things. We're trying to teach you that yes, you will run out of gas if you don't have this other information. If you don't understand what I'm teaching you right now, you won't have the structure that it takes to live to 120 years old. And some people are living to 120 and still don't know this shit. That's just luck, but most of us ain't that lucky. So if you came in the paradigm in 6 months, you ain't got enough gas, 60 years old. You came in this paradigm in 7 and 8 months. You ain't got enough gas, 70 to 80 years old. And God forbid that a situation happen in your life in those years and you don't have the discipline or the principle about, it could be the very thing to take you out. These are life lessons. And in order for you to have a full life, you must graduate the whole class. That's why you are a 12th grader. A 12th grader out of zero is 120 years. You got to finish school. And when you finish school, which is what we call full circle, which is what we call a full life, then guess what? Now you have all the principles and all the disciplines to become a 12 disciple. Graduate in 12 years. You're in the 12th grade, 12 disciples, 12 disciplines, 12 principles. That's all this is, you guys. It's nothing more than that. Okay. So now we're understanding that all of this stuff, we must create the environment for a long life, create the environment for a rich, wealthy life, create the environment for the family and the structure and all this type of stuff. And some people don't understand this. And that's why you got the most bitter, the most meanest people in religion. Y'all didn't notice that? You got the most bitter and most meaning people, mean folk in religion. Why? Because they haven't learned the disciplines that they're learning people. And when you learn people, then you just kind of tap out. Like, hey, Peter ain't me. I ain't Peter. Paul ain't me. I ain't Paul. Jesus ain't me. I still. Hey, what they say? God ain't finished with me yet. It's because you're trying to live up to people. But you can live up to these principles if only you knew. And that's what we're trying to teach our community. Okay. That's what we're trying to teach our community. That's all. That's what we're trying to teach our community. He's trying to teach us how to garden, but you got to know when. So that means that he's trying to teach us how to learn nature and the seasons, to know when to drop your seed of wealth in the ground, the physical ground, right? You're not plant a seed of wealth like you think, but fruits and vegetables are seeds of wealth, right? Because now you got food, you don't need to go to the grocery store. You keep money. If you keep money, then you stay wealthy. Y'all don't understand what I'm teaching you, but I hope you do. Okay. If you guys are interested in anything that we spoke here today, we have all these products online. If you guys, I am back in America right now. So whatever you did, used to get from me, you can get from me now. I'm not going to be here long though. Okay. We're here for about 90 days and then we saw an hour. Okay. So in this 90 days, if there's things that you need, if you want the consultation, if you want some herbs, if you want the detox, if you want male energy blend, female energy blend, cancer blends, if you want stuff, sea moss gel for your hair, sea moss gel for your body, if you want this or you want that, you get it now. But don't ask me for it when I leave back and go back to Africa. Okay? Because I ain't gonna be able to have those things. So we back in the lab, man. I'm back over here with my herbs. Let me show you guys this real quick. Y'all gotta excuse my warehouse in here now. But yeah, we back, man. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yes, sir, we back. Okay, we back in the shop. We back ready to make and create. Okay, to make and create. Now, there's not a whole lot that we got to do because now we were able to create. We were able to get this system. So it's not like I gotta just be trying to pull something from out of my ass now. We just pull it from mama. But you guys can go onto the website. You can get the healers package. With the healers package, you get a 21-day detox. You get your owner's manual, and then also we throw in a 30-day supply of the herbs that come from your owner's manual. That is a 50-day program. 50 days is really all you need for all of this diabetes and high blood pressure and all this little stuff that you got going on. These little knickknacks and chronic issues really could be done with 50 days. So that little program right there is $99.99. You can't beat it. There's no price gouging. All we're trying to do is get this into as many people's hands as possible for them to go ahead and get rid of some of this little bitty shit so that you can go ahead and get off these pills and get off this stuff and go ahead about your life and then start learning how now what the sun is saying. What is God saying to you today? Today is sunny outside, but it's cold. So we like to call today a cold and dry day. All right. But I'm in the winter here. I wasn't in the winter over there. So in the winter here, saying what? Relax, rest. Okay. Relax, rest. That's why this snowstorm happened. For you to stay in the house close to your people. Relax and rest. But a lot of you guys is watching TV, social media, you're not resting your brain. But winter is saying rest, relax, and repair. But your job won't let you. But your wants, needs, and desires won't let you. And so you don't really know God's voice. And what you got to understand is light creates sound. And sometimes we can translate what you call language. So that's why when you look out of space, it's dark, but folks can still hear something out there. And they say, oh, it's aliens, this is alien, that. No, it's just light that creates instructions. And that light that creates instructions, you can mistake them for letters, or you can mistake them for melodies. But it ain't nothing but frequency which can be heard. Now, as far as you properly translating, I doubt that. But light creates the vibration, that sound. And then you're trying to translate what that vibration says to you. That's God. And what I'm telling you is that this is our problem, is the fire, the light, because you don't know what God is saying through nature. And it's fucking with your mind. And the most important thing here is the spiritual in this realm. So now when it messes with your mind, don't you understand that it'll mess with your belief system, spirituality? So ultimately, when you come out of the womb, you should be having a relationship back with nature, the physical. Why? So that you can learn how to grow this body. With what? With your mind, spirit, and emotions. Create the environment to incubate your life. There's no way you're going to be wealthy if you don't study to show thyself approved. There's no way you're going to be healed if you don't study to show thyself approved. There's no way that you're going to affect your community and grow your family structure if you don't study yourself. Know thyself to show yourself approved. What are you studying? Knowing thyself. That's why right then when I just told you guys about the Bible, y'all didn't catch that, but most of y'all did. God started in what? The environment first. God created the environment before he created the body, the physical, you. So I take that and then I say, okay, if I want to be healed, I have to create the environment for the healing. If I want to be wealthy, I got to create the environment for the wealth. And how do you create the environment? You just got to know when. You got to know when the sun is coming. You got to know when to get the proper air flow. You got to know when to pour the water on the plant. Some of you guys are overwatering your plants. You're being too overly emotional in your wants, needs, and desires. You drown your plant. You want money too much. You want a house and car, now this too much. You overwatering. You studying too much. You're in the house too much. You're doing all this too much. You're overwatering your plant. Calm down. Know when. A lot of us, this air thing right here, a lot of us don't have no spiritual connection to nature. So our belief systems is out of whack. And when you're overly airing things, that means that you're all over the place. You're all over if you're all over the place, you're not paying attention to the growth of the plant. Because you want to be here and be there and be this and that. And I heard this and I heard that. And woo, woo. I heard you're supposed to put copper in there. I heard you're supposed to put some eggs in there. I heard you're supposed. So you're doing all kinds of stuff. You're all over where. Guess what? You're adding too much air to the plant. It won't grow either. You're stunning the growth. Sit your ass down and be rooted in a particular understanding and a system to grow your plant. Putting too much air on it. And then some of you guys are just letting that plant sit out there in that sun. Ain't no shade, no protection. Right? You're overthinking your life's goals and plans. You're overthinking your wants, needs, and desires. And you're going to burn them up. You're going to dry them out. Okay? You're going to dry them out. Nikhil Walker, no, it's not about cell salts. It's not about that. Okay? It's not about cell salts. It's about cellular minerals. Same word, same understanding. But don't put that in the chat without no clear understanding, okay? We ain't talking about no cell salts. Okay. So you must understand that it starts here with the Son of God. And because we have been duped and we have not been paying attention to the Son, you don't know when to do certain things. And that's going to come back to haunt you, come back to bite you in the ass. Okay? That's going to dry out your stuff, man. Vacation is good, but when you're growing your seeds, you can't vacate them. And vacating means that you can't be distracted when you just got a puppy. You can't be distracted when you're trying to build your wealth. You can't be distracted when you just got a diagnosis. You got to focus, concentrate on how to grow these things properly and get these things alleviated, right? So a lot of these things that come in, cancers and all these diseases, they ain't nothing but what? Messengers. Disease is not an issue like you think. A disease ain't nothing but a messenger. Somebody put that in the chat. Disease is a messenger. And you got to be able to know what that message is saying. And that's why I'm trying to tell you, if you got arthritis in your knees, that disease is saying sit your ass down somewhere. But you don't know that. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking, man. I'm trying to teach y'all this shit. Hey, look, you guys need to understand what these diseases are saying. If I got Parkinson's disease, ADHD, ADD, autism, what is that saying to me? Your mind got to be right. There's a mental illness. And so I just told you how to do it. You add heat and then you remove the situation in that area. So if I got arthritis, we know that that's an earth element. So that means that you're being too physical with your body. That means you must rest, relax, and cool. What's the opposite of earth? Air. What's the opposite of fire? Water. So I'm going to add fire to the situation because I know I need heat. I know I need to get my mind right. But then also I'm going to add what? I'm going to take out the physical, remove the physical, and understand that the spiritual is needed to balance this out. So I got heat and I got spiritual, and then next thing you know, my physical come back. When my mind and my spirit with nature, my relationship with nature or God comes back, then it'll tell me you're doing too much. And that'll alleviate the arthritis. I'll change jobs. I'll reconstruct my life. How many of you want to follow God? Follow the Son of God, the ecliptic. I've been teaching this for years. I've been teaching it for years. If I got kidney issues, what is kidneys? That's Libra. That's an air sign. So I know I got to add heat always, right? I got to add, my brain got to be on, the nervous system got to be in there always, right? So I know I got to add heat, but then what's the opposite of air? Earth. So it's telling me to watch out for my physical. I must be doing something that I believe in too much. And how you balance the too much. People always tell you about the lacking, but what about the too much? Yeah, if I'm lacking earth, you add earth. But if I'm too much in earth, how do you balance it? Opposites. And a lot of us are too much and we're too excessive in things because the excessive thing is about you being good at it. So it's something that you're good at. You making money, you ain't gonna want to stop making that bread. If you feel like that's your great asset, you're not gonna stop. So it's easy to know the lack. The lack, you provide what is missing. If I'm lacking earth, I provide earth. If I'm lacking water, I provide water. If I'm lacking air, I provide air. If I'm lacking fire, I provide fire. But what about if you're too excessive? Nobody teaches that. And if you're too excessive, then how do you eliminate? You don't have to eliminate, just balance. If I got too much fire, all I got to do is add more water, put out the fire. If I got too much air, all I got to do is add more grounding, more earth. Sit my ass down somewhere. Because obviously, when you're too excessive, you're lacking in the other element. Easy as pie. And That's what we're going to continue to keep teaching you guys. And that's why this right here is the #1 health assessment on the planet for your little funky measly $50. You can't beat it. You can't go under it. You can't go over it. It's everything that you need. And all we need is a birthday. Okay. And we got the herbs. We got all, as you can see, what y'all just saw was probably about 150 herbs. So we got herbs, we got the systems. All we need is the people that are ready to come and get over the hump of health, wealth, and social issues. And once we're able to show you how effective this is, it's going to be everything that you ever needed. But you got to learn yourself first, and then you can heal. I love you guys, man, and it's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie Herb Man. And until next time, love Herb Man. Y'all go tell somebody we back, man, and let everybody know. And then if you need me, you can call me, email me, or whatever you need to do to get in contact with me, and we'll be privileged to serve you in your health journey. I love you. Peace, peace, peace. Yes, sir.